Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eeks and Geeks. I am Siberia.
Hi.
I'm Kirsten.
Lauren.
Damn
Damn
it.
it.
We were so
Oh,
close.
so close. I was like, oh, we've got it. We've got the groove. I could feel it. Damn it.
We did not. I was the only one that didn't have the groove. I'm pumpkin. The disappointment.
You're that guy who gets kicked out of the window in Emperor's New Groove.
I threw it off. I'm sorry.
So yeah, this week, it was my pick, and my pick was Paranormal Activity to round off our paranormal block. I felt like it was only correct to do Paranormal Activity.
We had to have it in there. It had to be
Oh.
done.
Wait,
like,
we did.
no one
We
picked it,
did
and I
that
was
wrong.
like,
We're supposed to go. Ooh.
Ooh.
There we go.
Paranormal Activity. Now, I have some fun facts, but let's do our final thoughts first. Oh, no, wait. Let's do our recommendations that we watched this week first, so we force people to listen to them.
I don't
Did anyone watch anything?
I did not.
I didn't.
No,
I was very busy being a guest at a convention.
Yeah,
Yes,
you were.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, I spent my whole weekend as a lady.
She's a lady.
Yeah, she is.
Oh,
Dude, looks like a
wow.
lady. Lauren, anything?
I've been just busy watching all of the Paranormal Activity movies.
Oh, sure. So,
Just watched. I watched 1 through 4 since last week. So.
Right. So let's just get into our final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I can
Cool.
I can get.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't watched this in such a long time, and I remember the first time I watched it, like when it came out, it was like Blair Witch, where people are like, "Is this real?" Like even in the beginning, it's like we got this footage from the police, and you're like, "Oh,
What?
Really?"
Yeah, like the first time I saw it, I thought it was scary, and then watching it back, it's like it's not as scary because I know like what's going on and stuff. And I did catch some bad acting a couple of times. But other than that, it's a solid movie. Still liked it. 8 out of 10.
Come on, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right. Pumpkin.
Yeah, I was thinking about how I feel like when you watched this back in the 2000s, you were like, oh my God, 10 out of 10, terrifying. Is this real? Is this girl still on the loose somewhere? Like so good, especially for like the budget it's on. And then like you watch it now and your brain wants to be like, ugh, I'm so tired of this trope. I know what's going to happen next, whatever. Like it feels predictable, but that's because like none of that stuff was a trope back then.
Yeah.
Like so many good movies that we have now, like really, oh, thanks to Paranormal Activity for like inspiration. So it's like, I want to give it a 10 and I want to give it a 4 because like, it's just like, it's an old classic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to say like 7.5.
Okay.
Like somewhere kind of in the middle, you know. You're like this was like for the budget it was done on and for the time that it came out, like this is so good. But when you think of like the horror movies that we have now, you're like it's not that scary.
Yeah.
Right. Lauren.
I was just struck by how nostalgic this movie is. Just feels, it's just a fun one. And like we said, like with the budget being so small, it just delivers so much for such a small movie. And I'm like, I kept thinking while I was watching it, like, I bet like when they made this, they were just like, I hope this is good, you know? And then like for it to be such a hit and to be so well received, I'm sure it was just like such a cool feeling for these. I mean, these people had to have been like working for free, right? With a $15,000 budget.
I
like
mean, they agreed to use their own names.
Yeah, like
for the characters.
These actors have to be essentially working for free. They've probably got like one camera guy, one guy doing the sound editing and everything. So I just think for like what it is, it's so effective. It's so nostalgic. I actually thought, I think the most successful thing about it is that it really doesn't feel like acting to me. Like they just feel like people. Like I don't feel like there's ever a part in it where I'm like, ooh, the acting is off, because to me it's just like these just feel like regular ass people like recording themselves in their house, and I think that is why it's so successful, because it just feels like it's almost like they forgot they were making a movie or something. Like that's how well done I think it is in that regard. So I would also give it like a 7.5 or an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can appreciate all that. I also agree about the acting thing. I didn't think the acting was bad. I thought that, like, especially for Katie, I was like, she's a real girl.
She's slay.
I just thought Katie and Mika and the sister are all great. The psychic,
Oh,
a couple
sure.
times I
I
was
mean-
like, oh, you delivered that line a little corny, but
I
besides
wasn't thinking
this-
about him. I
Yeah.
was mostly
Yeah,
just thinking about
no.
Katie and Mika, because they're like,
yes,
They're the
The
only two
majority
real
of it.
characters in the movie.
Mhm.
Katie and Mika, I didn't think the sister was. There are times when I was like, okay, and it's like the side characters that they had in. I was like,
I think
Okay.
the sister and the psychic are the only other two characters, right? Aren't there
Yeah,
only
it's
like
just the-
4
Mhm.
characters?
yeah, it's those two.
Yeah.
There's like some
Which
things that they
that's
said.
crazy to do a whole movie with 4 actors.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
well, and I
Um,
didn't notice the
I-
sister being bad. Maybe because I watched.
I think she's got like 3 lines, so I
Well,
think
yeah,
I didn't
because like
notice.
she's like the focal
Yeah.
point of the second one, and I
Yeah.
think she was like
Mm.
I thought she was good in the second one,
Sure.
so I just didn't notice. I
It's
didn't
It's
notice
the way
her.
that she delivered. What was it? It was just like, it was like, yeah, what's your plan, Mika? And I was like, it's the way that she said that. I was like,
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna give my thoughts now.
yeah.
So I hadn't seen this movie. This was the first horror movie I ever watched. Scared the ever living bejesus out of me.
Mhm.
Like, to the point where I like slept in my parents like on the side of their bed on the floor for like a week.
Oh my
And I was
God.
like, I mind you, like probably 13 or 14. Like, I'm giving away a lot here.
Mhm.
And honestly, I loved it just as much as I did when I was like, I loved it so much. Like watching it today, I watched it this afternoon with Bella, and she had never seen it, and she was shaking in her boots too.
It's just
Like
so fun.
it's such effective scares,
Yes.
and like just like the constant shots at night of you just seeing the 2 doorways in the hallway in the
Mhm.
background.
Mhm.
That just the effect of that is enough to be like, okay,
I hate it. I hate that.
I hate it.
When you see the clock going really fast and it
Mhm.
slows down, you're
Yes,
like, oh,
and you're like,
no.
oh shit.
I think the parts that always get me is like where
and-
she's like staring.
Uh-huh.
And I also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the acting. I really liked the acting, especially from the lead 2 characters. Like I just really believed that they were just like a couple
Mhm.
Yeah.
dealing with this. I think one of them was dealing with it way better than the other, but overall, I loved this movie. I had a great fucking time. I give it
Yeah.
a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I had so much fun.
Yeah. Wait,
It's
I
let me
love it.
fun.
let me average up our score. So we've
Ooh,
got
okay averages.
We've
Math.
got
I
Kristen, what was your score?
I said 8.
8. And then what did you say, Siberia?
9.
9.
9. Oh, so that's an average 8. If I were better
Yeah.
at math, I could have just done that in my head. But I'm
yeah, we probably
stupid.
could have guesstimated right around there.
That's
I've
a
got
good
some fun little
score. Yes.
Fun facts.
Yeah.
Yay!
Give me
Yeah.
Funkies. Yeah.
All right. In regards to the acting, I think this is a fun one. The actors didn't have a script. They were just given guidelines on how to behave or what to discuss in the scenes.
That's-
Really?
Hmm.
Yeah, so
I-
there was no writing,
Oh, okay.
which
Well,
I think is really cool.
I
That
think
makes
that's
it-
really cool.
That makes it more impressive then.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second.
I think
Like,
that
figure
really
it out.
adds to like it feeling so organic, because they're not
Yes.
just remembering lines, they're just like, well,
like,
let's
"What the
just
fuck?"
pretend like we're in this situation. Oh, that's so clever. I like that.
Yeah.
Didn't they do
And-
that in Blair Witch or
I
something like
believe
that?
so.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Steven Spielberg had to stop watching the film halfway through on a home screener because he was genuinely spooked and had to finish it the next day.
What
Oh.
a bitch.
Oh, what a
What a little
pussy.
Bitch.
What a pussy. Yeah, fuck you.
The entire movie was filmed in the director's house.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
scary. Ooh, I would never want to
I
get in my
would
house.
never want to live there again.
We actually said while we were watching, we were like, can you imagine like living in the Paranormal Activity house?
No.
Like someone lives there right now.
Like there are
That-
other horror movie houses that I think I could live in, but I do not think I could live
I
in
don't
that
think I
one. It
could.
is so freaky to me.
Mhm.
like the
I'd
layout.
I'd at least have to sleep in one of the other rooms. I couldn't sleep in that
Yeah.
room.
I don't
Absolutely
think I could do it. No.
That's crazy.
There were 8 people originally hired to star in the movie, but only 5 remained in the theatrical release.
Oh, who are we missing?
5.
I'm guessing the 5th is the person who played the demon in like a green screen suit or something.
Oh.
That's my guess.
Guy with pterodactyl foot.
Walking
And
through the flower.
apparently, the director got the idea for the movie from a personal experience. Late at night, he was sleeping and a box of detergent fell off the shelf. The box was pushed too far back for it to just tilt and fall.
It was a demon.
Scary boy.
That was it. And then
Love.
if I actually watched it today after finishing the movie, did anyone else watch the alternate ending?
I've seen it before, but I didn't watch it now.
Alternate ending scares the fuck out of me. I think it's creepier than the
I didn't
normal
know there was one.
So, folks, for people who don't know, the alternate ending is, so she goes downstairs, she kills Mika, and then she never throws the body. He never comes back upstairs. She comes back upstairs, starts rocking by the bed, and you see the clock go really fast and the sun comes up. She's still rocking, and then you see the sun go down again, and her sister's knocking. Her sister opens the door, finds Mika, runs tail all the while. Katie's still rocking by the bed. Then the police come back. They find her. She gets up with a knife towards them, and then they shoot her dead.
Oh wait, maybe I didn't see.
What?
There's like a there must be a third one too then, because
I didn't see anything about a third one.
there's one where she kills Mika and then she goes and stares at the camera and then she slits her own throat and falls over. That one scared the crap out of me.
I did not see anything about
I
that.
have not seen any of these alternate endings. That's so interesting.
Yeah, that one scared the crap out of me because she just like goes up and she's just staring at the camera and then she just takes the knife and goes and falls over.
Oh my god. Well,
Like,
yeah,
I
I guess I can
encountered
see how
that.
those because those don't work with the storyline that they make going into the other ones, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Nonetheless.
apparently it was Steven Spielberg's idea that convinced the director to change that ending to make it the one it is now.
oh.
And that was my last fun fact.
Yeah, there's 3 super scary alternate endings.
I just looked that up. Yeah, she does slit her throat in one of them because I
Have
watched
you-
the police one
Scary.
because it was a feature on my rental.
Oh, fun.
It's scary.
Have you ever screamed more at a horror movie to just like close the fucking door? Who is sleeping with their bedroom door open?
It's like, why are you sleeping with your bedroom door open?
The first time that it like slammed shut, I like was like, leave it shut. Why are
Yeah,
you leaving it
literally
open?
just close the door.
Just
Why would you
close
sleep with your
it.
door open? Are you mentally well?
Yeah.
Yes, Pumpkin.
I sleep with my door open.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Three.
I
Three.
am posing the question to you specifically.
My door.
Because if Rose can't come and go when she pleases, she
Not my
will. She will literally. Y'all saw what she did to my shoulder.
True.
She will
True.
bite the fuck out of me, or
Mm.
sit at the door and cry. So I just sleep with it open.
That's how
Are
Odin
demons
does it. We
worth
ignore
that,
him. We ignore him and he
well-
well, so he shuts up.
Cats keep the demons away. So I'm
They do.
safe.
That's true.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody
that's true.
fucking with a cat.
Yeah, so it's fine. I, out of curiosity, looked up what the demon in Paranormal Activity is. I was
We have a
curious.
definitive answer on that.
The films are typically based around various families who become haunted by the demon Asmodeus, quote unquote, Toby
Asmodeus.
of the book
Sawtooth.
Lucifer. I like that we're all brain rotted from TikTok.
Chronically online.
It's a ghost song, you guys.
Is there a picture of
Yeah.
him?
Is he cute?
I want to see his feet, his dinosaur feet.
You want to see his feet?
Oh
Give me
my
some
god.
dinosaur feet.
Oh my god.
Monster feet. Are you kidding me? The fetish is going too far.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see him in later movies? That's kind of dumb. I like
Yeah, I
when
don't
things
want
are
that.
invisible.
I've made it into 4 and he's not.
Isn't there like I feel like there's some kind of cult thing. Isn't there like
It's like the third one, it turns out that
He looks great.
you've oh
Huh.
he's sexy as hell. That's right up your
Right.
alley.
He's hot.
Any hole is a goal.
It the story turns into like they find out that like generations back in their family, someone made a deal, I guess, with Asmodeus
with the devil
to like give up whatever they got. It was like in return they had to give up their firstborn son, but the family has only ever had
women.
girls. Yeah, so it's not until the sister has
Are
a
we
son.
the drama?
I remember now.
And it's like, and it's like their family is like a witch coven,
because that's why they have
Love
so
that.
much wealth, right? Like that's how they explain the wealth. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, some of us
they-
haven't seen the later Paranormal Activity movies, so
Well, I'm just
sorry.
letting you know some backstory.
You're like you're talking about it and it's like making me remember from where I saw it and I was like, oh yeah.
Well, shall we get into the plot?
Get into the plot.
We have our own memes.
We have inside jokes, guys.
Let's get into the plot.
I wasn't lazy this week and I did divide it up into chapters.
Yay!
Woo! All right. Chapter 1. Girl, you got a demon. All right. Young couple, Katie and Mika. Stupid fucking way to pronounce that name.
I know, Micah, hello, that's how it's pronounced.
Moved to a new house in San Diego. Katie claims an evil presence has been haunting her since she was a child. It had laid dormant for a while, but she believes it is back. So Mika, with some resistance from Katie, sets up a camera in their bedroom to record any paranormal activity that occurs while they're asleep.
He said it.
Finish your drink. Katie visits psychic Dr. Fredericks, who suggests Katie is being haunted by a demon that feeds off negative energy and is intent on tormenting her. He advises not to communicate with the demon without a demonologist, but Mika, still against Katie's wishes, continues to film and seek it out. Discuss.
I am so angry. Like the fact that she listened to him because she was like, I'm gonna call him, and he's like, no, I can fix this, and I'm like,
bro,
call the demonologist.
We should still call him just in case.
Yeah. We can like get him on the way.
I think we can solve this pretty fast.
Yeah.
He's just like, call him.
We could just get his input.
And wouldn't it be nice for him to get here and just be like, yeah, there's nothing here, like just
yes.
Dude, I spent the whole movie just wanting to like strangle Mika. Oh my god, I was like, god damn, you're annoying.
The amount of times that she's like, can we please, like, this is making it worse, can we have to like ignore it, we need to not put any energy into it, and he just doesn't give a fuck.
He wants to like fight it.
Yeah.
And like, I know they can't turn off the camera because obviously then we wouldn't have a movie. But like, I'm like, at some points I'm like, okay, Mika, turn off the camera.
Yeah, Mika.
Turn off the camera.
Put the camera down.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the beginning though, like, is so good at feeling authentic. Like he's a guy, he's got a new expensive toy he wants to play with. He's all excited about it. And the girlfriend's like, okay, get it out of my face. And and I even felt like the little bit of exposition we were getting was like, it was done very like naturally because you know, Mika's like, oh, maybe it was one of those like neighbor kids that's been like creeping on you or whatever, and she's like, well, unless he's been doing it since I was 8, I don't think it's that. Like I felt like it started off so when this came out, it was easy to be like, is this real? Did this actually happen? Because it's so good.
I even had to like, after it, like when I first saw it, I like had to look it up. I was like, is this real? Like, I was like
because they do convince you with those opening credits. You're like, look at the police department.
Opening credits is so good for setting it up. Like, sorry, we got this footage from the family and the police department, and you're like, oh shit.
And you look up their names, and it's their actual names, and you're like, now wait a minute.
Yeah, they okay? I was actually
Lauren?
surprised at how much setup there was. I think just from like not really remembering, I was like, oh, there's like because I didn't remember why he had the cameras. Like I didn't know if it was like for security or whatever, but the fact that it was like for this reason, and like that's why there's cameras everywhere. And yeah, I had a feeling of like, oh wow, there's like more setup and like thought put into this than I remember, rather than it just being like all of a sudden there's just like demons. It's like, oh I've been haunted like my life, and I just kind of deal with it. And so I was appreciative of, and we love
she's
that.
Pretty casual about it at the beginning. Like she's like, yeah, she's kind of a thing that happens to me.
But
like when it's chill, like whatever, that's fine. But like when it's not chill, it's not chill at all.
It's not chill at all.
I will say Mika's very annoying, but I did agree with him when he was just like, I mean, you could have told me that this was a thing And he was like, "Oh, I should say at the beginning of the date."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, you could have told me like 8 days in
15,
when we were
30,
moving in."
I don't know.
I'd have been like, "Yeah."
That was like literally the one point that I was
Yeah.
like, this guy has you there a little bit. You could have
Okay,
said something.
Joe and I were having a conversation about this because he was like, yeah, that's fucked up that she didn't tell him. And I was like, well, if I understand from her perspective, because if you were however many dates you're in, if you tell someone, yeah, I'm like haunted by a demon, like that's never going to be a conversation that's received well. So like I understand not saying anything. And especially if it's like not really a problem in her life, if it's just like something that she's like, oh yeah, things fall off shelves and whatever, but like
That's what I was thinking, because she says like it's not always consistently a problem. Like sometimes it would go like months or years without bothering her, and then it would like pop up again. And I don't know if it's like accurate or not, but you know, the psychic is like, oh, it feeds off of negative energy. And I was like, oh, is it popping up because maybe something's not great right now? Like in worse parts of her life, when she's more stressed or whatever, it gets worse, and then when she's happier it goes away because it has less power. Like, you know, I was kind of like, maybe it wasn't bothering her for a really long time, and then she and Mika settle down and she's getting into school, she's more stressed, suddenly it's popping back up and she didn't think to say anything. So I don't know.
Lauren,
it shows back up because the sister has the baby.
Yeah. It connects. I remember that. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's all I'll say. But like,
yeah,
that is why. That's why.
That's a spoiler.
I'm just saying. That's why.
Well, but so then they didn't decide that when they made this, though. They like retconned it a little bit.
God, I need to go back because
does the sister? No, I can't remember.
It's like I need to go back and watch them because they do connect, and I'm like, it like you say things. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I need to go back. I need to go back and watch them. Yeah,
but we're on the first one, so
we're talking about the first one.
I don't think because I don't think the sister says anything about a baby.
No,
so
she
her
doesn't
like having
in
kids in the
movie.
first one. I don't think she does.
Mm-mm.
But I think I said the same thing about Hereditary and Smile. I love when you've just got a big view of the room and it's just silent and it's just still, and you're like, where is it? What? Where? Like it's so scary because now you're playing like I Spy with a fucking ghost. You're like, where? What? I'm so scared.
Yeah, we were all saying that, like that we like movies that make you search in the background, and I feel like this is like the movie that defined that feeling of like. Yeah. Especially like, and they do it in all of them. It's like this one, it's the room in the background. Another one, it's like the connect dots. It's like there's always something that you're like, where is it? Where is the
corner of the sheet? You're like, oh, there it is.
And every time like the scene opens and it's that same view, you're like, okay,
we're in for it. Here we are. It's nighttime.
There was even a part where like I think she like moved her foot, like she was just sleeping, and I was like, she's just moving. Okay.
Do we have anything to say about this stupid ass psychic? He's dumb.
He's not really. I don't feel like he was.
Why call a psychic? I was like, wouldn't most people call like an exorcist?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, a psychic could like speak to the dead.
But I wouldn't call a psychic.
That's a medium. Yeah, that's a medium.
Well, are they just abbreviated? Because like psychic medium, that's something that they're called.
I'm gonna look it up. What's the difference?
I think they're different. I think a medium talks to people, where a psychic can like see the future.
There's like people that like I've like because I've like got my ghost from Ireland or whatever. I've like talked to my friends that are like spiritual, and like they have knowledge about stuff like that. So it's kind of like you can get knowledge from like things like that. But like he was even like, this is, you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah. I love the part where he comes back and he just walks in the door and he's like, I can't be here. This. I'm gonna go now. And he's like, no. He's like, no, I'm leaving. He's like, I was like, good for you, King. Like,
we'll get there.
It's literally making it worse me being here.
Yeah. I love that part. Him just being like, no, I'm going right now. So you have fun dealing with
He like
this.
literally pivot turned. Like,
I was like, good
but
for
we're getting
you
ahead of ourselves.
advocating for yourself.
Oh, according to this, and of course I don't know how accurate it is, a medium is somebody who's like in touch with like the spirit realm, and psychics are people who can like read your energy.
Okay.
So psychics can tell what's going on with you, but a medium can tell what's going on outside.
So I guess
apparently.
that's helpful here.
was like the
he could be like,
gateway.
you're kind of fucked up.
Yeah. And he's like, I know people. And he did. He was like, I got a demonologist.
They're
Well,
just gone.
He could tell like it was connected to just Katie. It wasn't the house.
Yeah.
So that was helpful, I guess.
We have chapter 2. Mika is dumb.
Mhm.
The camera captures many strange occurrences during the night. They start off as minor noises, flickering lights, Katie's keys being thrown, and bedroom door movements, even as much as hearing unexplainable voices the next day in the footage. One night, Katie appears to be in a trance. She gets up, stands beside the bed staring at Micah for 2 hours, and then goes outside and sits in the swing, appearing semi-conscious and talking to Micah, none of which she recalls the next day. Once again, against Katie's wishes, Micah brings home a Ouija board, and a surprise, Katie is pissed. When the couple leaves the house, the camera records an unseen force moving the board's pointer on its surface, and then it spontaneously combusts. Disgust.
I was trying to watch to see because apparently if you take the Ouija board and go, I think, backwards on it, it like opens up. So I was like trying to watch to see if it was gonna do that, but it didn't.
She's very has every right to be pissed about the Ouija board, and
what she was like, no, I don't want to hear about it right now. Like literally, no.
And
Ouija
I
boards are
wholeheartedly agree with her on that front.
Ouija boards are dangerous.
I was like, Mika,
Especially in
this
that
isn't
scenario.
This isn't Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
Like I don't he wants to like I don't like play a game with it or like solve a puzzle, and it's like your lives are in danger, dude.
I don't think he fully believes it yet, though.
Oh no,
point. Like
because he's like classic guy in the movie. He's like ghost.
He's like, oh, you think something's moving?
Let's see what you can do, Mr. Ghost Man. And then he gets his shit fucked, and it's
is this the part where have we gotten to where the door has slammed and they go out there and look?
That's like I think in this section.
Okay, so he first of all, Mika does everything wrong with Ghost. When the door slams and he runs out there and he's like, show yourself, and I'm like, you don't tell a demon ghost to do that. That is the number one rule, is you do
oh my
not
god.
tell
And
it
when
to present itself.
and when when they walk out and the chandelier is swinging, I'd be like, let's go back to bed.
Close the
Nope.
door.
Like the psychic literally said like communicating with it is going to give it more power and energy. Like ignore it. Like what an idiot.
Yep.
He made me I didn't even remember him being that annoying when I watched it like years ago. I guess because I was younger and I feel like I would do the same thing. I'd be like, ooh, we gotta like solve the mystery and talk to the ghosts or whatever. But as an adult, you're like, we're gonna die. Stop it. This isn't funny.
I really liked Katie's character in this movie. She's like, what the fuck are you thinking?
She's so relatable and real feeling. It's like you believe that she's been dealing with this her whole life. You believe her when she's like, I don't want to talk to it. Like, I don't want to deal with this. She's believable in how she communicates with Mika and like being frustrated with him. She's just like such a believable character, and I love her for that.
Yeah, it's I have a friend who has like a shadow person that's attached to her, and it's like the same thing with like Katie, where she's just like, yeah, it's there.
No.
And
you're like, okay, that's cool.
I guess we're
like,
not.
Has your friend ever seen anyone about it?
No. I have had weird feelings staying the night with her before. So like it's been kind of like, yeah, I got some stories about that too.
No.
We're not.
But it's like Katie, where it's like never harmed her, so she's just like,
yeah. Pumpkin, what were you saying?
I was just gonna ask. We're not at the part with the powder on the floor yet, right?
No, that's in the next
later.
section.
Oh, okay.
She was, because when Mika kind of lies to Katie when she's like, was I talking to you? And he was like, no.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
I wouldn't call it
talking. To
talking.
you.
Yeah.
I was like, I would. She said words.
Yeah, you were talking back and forth to each other.
I was so mad at him because he's like annoyed with her for essentially being possessed. He's like, why are you acting all crazy? Like, why are you seriously? You don't remember any of it? I'm like,
you didn't see the chandelier swinging the other night?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you think Katie's doing all of Like,
Yeah,
I don't
like-
understand what you think is going on, Mika.
And like
Yeah.
roll the tapes. You can see everything that's happening. Like
Every time they'd roll the tapes in the morning, I'd be like, surely he's gonna start taking this seriously.
right.
And like it's go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like he made a point to bring up the fact that he was gonna bring her a blanket like 7 times. I was like, yes, you are so nice, Mika. What a good boyfriend. Now
Yeah.
stop
I mean, he's kinda
antagonizing the
cute.
demon.
And even with like because he doesn't know anything about ghosts, and obviously even if she was like sleepwalking and it not being a ghost, he doesn't know anything about that either. He's like, you don't remember anything? It was like, have you ever been around a sleepwalker? They don't remember things. Like
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he's just so dumb. Yeah.
I was like, Katie, how have you not punched him in the teeth?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I just want to know. Like, he's so aggravating.
And when she's down at the thing, that's when the TV static turns on too, right?
Uh-huh.
In
I was
the
like,
room.
The
Creepy as
Ring.
hell to me.
The
Yeah.
Ring.
Yeah, I was like, come on, The Ring.
Oh, I was thinking it was like a poltergeist reference.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
that is true.
That's probably more what it
They're
was.
here.
They're here.
Well,
Anyway. Oh, I also like just the very subtle touch of like that low rumbling sound that comes
Mhm.
like anytime the ghost is
did anyone watch it with subtitles?
yes.
I did.
Because it'd be
Yeah.
like low rumbling, and I'd be like, oh shit.
No, at first I was just watching it like on my laptop with like the normal audio, and it comes that part where Katie and Mika are like, shh, do you hear something? And I was like, I can't hear anything. Wait. And I like paused the movie and I went and got my headphones and I like turned it all the way up. And like, yeah, you can hear like these really creepy noises in the background.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's so
it's
much scarier with
it's
headphones.
very subtle, but like
Yes.
a cool just little thing to sprinkle in just to give you it. And it's less of a sound than it is just like you can like feel the tension
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, it's here. It's so scary.
I just the footsteps when they're asleep, and it's just
Oh,
like,
I'd kill myself.
oh,
I would just kill myself right then and there.
gross.
I just kept being like, and is the paranormal activity in the room with us now?
Now. Well, do you hear the low rumble? Hello.
Do you?
It's the-
Is she rumbling?
Is she rumbling? No.
Maybe you don't deserve her time.
What next?
Oh, y'all froze for me. I was like,
We
I
were
was
all
like-
just watching
I was
you.
like, are we doing a bit?
Are we doing
all right,
shtick?
yes. Chapter 3. This activity is definitely paranormal.
Oh, shit.
Katie is increasingly aggravated, rightfully so, by Mika's flippant behavior and pleads to contact the demonologist, but he refuses. He wants to put baby powder down overnight to really confirm that the footsteps are real. The couple find non-human footsteps on the baby powder, as expected. Its path leads to a burnt photograph of a young Katie in the attic where the door was left ajar. Katie begins panicking because there is no way this picture should be there, as that should have been burned in the house fire when she was little. Outside intervention is unavailable as the demonologist is out of the country, and Dr. Fredericks comes over but immediately leaves as he is afraid of making the demon angrier with his presence. Discuss.
The baby powder was kind of smart.
Was it smart? We knew what was
We
going on.
already knew. We didn't need more
We
proof.
don't have to track it.
I thought but it's interesting to see that it's not just like human feet. If I was like, oh, we've got like a crarazy demon up in here. He's not a
We got a
ghost.
bird.
It's like we've got some sort of pterodactyl.
We've got a dinosaur
yeah.
ghost.
Okay, maybe
I
not
was like,
smart,
why
but
do we
I
need
like
to
it.
confirm that it's there before we can call the demonologist? If we find freaky footprints, we're gonna call the demonologist.
We have so much evidence. That was the point of the camera. I don't think we need
It's true.
footprints, although it coming right up to just Katie's side of the bed and stopping there is like, because he's still just standing there.
Yeah, because they're like
He's
walking
just
around and it's
standing
like
there.
it's
He's
there.
still
Finley.
there. I was like, there's no footprints out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I immediately, if I saw those non-human footprints, I would be like, I am getting the fuck out of this house.
But it
Well,
doesn't
which
matter.
sucks because it
I
doesn't
know
even
that,
matter.
but still, it would make me feel safer.
Also, I am in every movie where there's like an attic shot where you're getting like the POV of like looking in an attic.
Wreck.
It makes me want to crawl out of my skin. Even the thought of an attic, like if I had an attic in my house, I don't think I could live here.
Ooh, the scene in Host.
Oh,
Is that
Oh,
Host?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the attic. Ooh. But what was I gonna say?
And Hereditary.
I had a thought about
Oh, Host. Mm-hmm.
yeah, the feet. The feet. Feet are very scary. What was I gonna? I had a, like a.
Sorry.
hot.
I forgot we were on a podcast.
Do it
Ew.
again. Do it again.
Sorry.
Ladies don't burp.
Whoops.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I liked that Katie was like, he showed his footprints on purpose. Like Mika, he's a ghost.
Yeah.
He didn't have to leave footprints. He can
Right.
do things without walking. So like,
Yeah.
And you're like, he's like, how do you know? And she's like, I've known him for 25 years.
Yeah.
this is my ghost, idiot.
We're like besties at this point.
Oh,
finding the picture in the attic, very scary, and her reaction again, very
her reaction was
believable.
good.
Just like,
Yes.
there's no fucking way this can be here right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why is it here? It doesn't make it, like, her just freaking out. It's like,
We can also include the picture in this, like this picture getting smashed.
Yes.
And scratched
Oh,
in
It's
this
just
section.
Mika's face.
I was like, same ghost, same.
Mika was so fucking annoying with it. He was just like, "Why is my face scratched and not yours?" And I'm like,
it doesn't
I'm
like you.
sorry.
The demon wants Katie, not you.
Yeah, you're trash.
You're nasty. He's
Yeah.
not. You think he's gay? Ew. The demon isn't gay, okay? He only likes girls.
No homo.
It's a pass, not a smash, actually.
And I know we talked about the guy coming and just leaving immediately, but just hilarious. I
It's
love
so
him just
good.
being
That-
He literally walks in, he's like, oh no.
like
He's like,
so comically fast. He leaves and it's just like he walks in the door and he's like, I'm making it worse just by being here.
Yeah,
so
he's like-
I'm gonna go.
He's like, it's bad in here. Me being here makes it worse. So I'm
Yeah, and I'm never gonna
So
come back.
good.
Here. Good luck. He's literally like, good luck with this. I'm never coming back.
That was the only part of the movie where I thought the acting was a little like it was like the way he was like, I can't be here right now. I was like,
And then
You're
she was like,
delivering this-
hello?
and then of course Mika's like, dude, you can't just leave us. I was like, oh, now you want help?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're scared.
I feel like
Idiot.
if I couldn't get the demonologist, I would have just been like, all right, then I'm going to a church. I'm going somewhere.
Call a priest.
I also would have like used Google and been like, demonologist in California. Like, I have a car.
As I said, there's probably one. You throw a rock and you could probably find one.
That's just a guy who knows one. There are other ones.
Yeah, they're like, he's out of the country. Sorry, there's no more.
Guess that's the only one.
That's the only one.
Demonologists are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Okay. Every city's got like at least 20. Like
Go
you
here.
know,
It's
Well,
like
San
right next to
Diego.
the bodega. There's
Yeah.
the demonologist.
there's even
like-
Yelp reviews. Like, come on, girl.
there's like a wait for them. Like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Demands.
Or just call up your buddy Zach Bagans. He'll come right to your rescue.
To make it much worse.
Yeah.
We
Oh my
entered the
God.
home of Katie and Micah. Mika. No, he'd pronounce it Micah.
That's
God,
how it's spelled.
That's it, literally his name.
Like the mineral.
You soft metal. Oh, Micah, you little soft metal.
You soft little bitch.
Oh, I just go and bend you.
I just go.
You're the demon right now. That was him.
That's him in the attic. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna get him.
This dude thinks
wait till I
he's
slam
tough.
their door tonight. They'll see.
I'm gonna step all over your powder.
That honestly
The demon
was-
probably doesn't even have clawed feet. He was like, watch this.
I'm a bird
Real
now.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like has his hand
He's like
this,
up in the attic with his foam clay, making his feet like.
He's like, this is gonna scare the shit out of Mika.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I feel like the demon's kind of a homie. Come on, Asmodeus, you want to be on the pod?
Asmodeus.
Asmodeus!
All of a sudden, just one pops
Lucifer.
up. Another window pops up.
And
And
we're
we're
like-
like, oh.
All right, shall we round out this affair?
Round it out.
All right. Chapter 4, Get Got. That night, Katie is yanked out of the bedroom by her leg by an unseen force and dragged all the way towards the attic door. Micah discovers a huge inhuman bite mark on Katie's back the morning after, motivating him to get out of the house finally. They plan to get away, but Katie abruptly insists on staying. On night 21, Katie gets out of bed again and stares at Micah for 2 hours before going downstairs. Katie screams bloody murder for Micah, and he quickly rushes to help her. Afterwards, Micah screams in pain, and after a moment of silence, Micah's body is violently hurled at the camera, which is knocked off the tripod, revealing Katie standing in the doorway with blood on her shirt. She crawls to Micah's body and then looks up at the camera with a grin. As she lunges towards the camera, her face takes on a demonic snarl, and the scene cuts to black. The epilogue states that Micah's body is discovered by the police and Katie is missing. Now, I will say that last shot of Katie coming at the camera is basically the only thing that I was like, this isn't real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have to say that last shot is a little corny. I think
Yes. It's
I
kind of
think-
like Sinister.
yeah, the other alternate endings probably I would have liked more.
The alternate ending would have freaked me the fuck out. I would be like, this is real. Okay.
Yeah, that was because that's the only just her face. It looks a little
Yep.
it's a little corny now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think I had the DVD of this because my family always buys physical media, and when I watched the alternate ending, the one with the slit throat, that one gave me chills because she just stares at the camera and then and falls over. If I saw that, I'd have been like, okay.
But I feel like they went with this one because then it left the door open for sequels.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it do.
Yeah, because if you killed Katie, then what are you gonna do now? You know?
I also like how he kind of this ghost is kind of a tease. He did the night before he did it, he was like, I'm gonna look at your foot. I'm gonna touch it a little bit.
I'm
gonna
gonna
give you a
fluff
little
up your covers.
tease.
Yeah.
And then the next night he was like, yeet.
Yeah, he could have done it at any time, but every night he was just like
He so gracefully lifts the sheet off of her foot. He's like,
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I
It's so
assumed that
chaos.
was because he was getting
stronger.
stronger the more Mika was trying to communicate and fight him.
sure.
And so he
Yeah.
was finally strong enough to actually physically grab Katie, which he hasn't been that strong before.
I mean, he yoinked the fuck out of her.
Oh, all the way down the hall.
Yeah.
He got
and
yeeted.
her acting, her panicked,
It's-
screaming, gasping for breath and crying is so realistic.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
Yeah.
so good, dude.
And her that final scream of her screaming Mika downstairs is horrifying.
Yes.
yeah.
It's so genuine. I'm like, I can't tell if this is actually her asking for help or if she's possessed.
I know.
It
Yeah.
was so scary.
It was
Yeah.
a trap, Mika.
It was a trick. Got him.
Can I noticed something and I was like, oh, Mika, you are a colossal asshole. So when he goes back upstairs and she's kneeled on the floor, sobbing, crying, he reaches out to comfort her, stops, and you notice he focuses the lens and then starts to comfort her. And I was like, you dick. Oh,
There was a part that I noticed earlier, when she screamed. It was later on. He ran and then ran back and grabbed the camera. And
The
then ran
spider,
after her.
when she was afraid of the spider.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, so there's a couple of times he's like, I gotta get it. I didn't notice the focus on that one.
I didn't
Oh,
hear that.
that's
That's
so
such a
fucked
subtle
up, bro.
little
Yeah,
oh,
that's such
ooh.
a dick
because
thing.
you see his hand start to go out and then he brings it back in and she was blurry and then suddenly she's focused and then he reaches out to comfort her and I was like, you
Oh my
focused the
God.
lens, you
That's-
asshole. Oh,
That's crazy, girl.
he
That's
deserved
crazy.
it. He deserved it. I was
Absolutely, he deserved it.
Asmodeus, fuck him up.
That's why I like this ending also, because I'm like, yeah, kill him, go free, girl, demon girl, get it.
Yeah, slay.
Literally slay.
Literally, slay Mika, please.
Yeah.
But what
I
a
think
classic.
I think it would have been a little better if like she didn't crawl, like the throwing, and then you see her there with bloodiness, and then maybe the video sped up, and then it kind of ended. I think that would have been.
Yeah, rather than the lunge.
And maybe
Yeah.
just her like maybe she didn't even come over to him. She just like turned and left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
just
something
kind of
like that.
like you could still do the like scare the audience by having her like stand there and then just like grab the camera or knock it over or something, and then you
Yeah.
hear her leave, like it, because I feel like that scene was meant for the viewer to be like, oh, like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could have still done something like that, but just not the like
Because it was
CGI
very
demon
jarring
face.
to like never have a second of CGI the entire movie, and then the last shot have like a kind of CGI face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just kind of a little bit corny because the
Yeah.
rest of it feels so like practical and
Mhm.
like believable. And
Yeah.
then so to just have like a kind of a silly looking face like lunge at you is kind of like, okay, well.
Like
Right.
what makes the scare so successful is that it's all, for the most part, left to your imagination. And so to have that one moment of like, you know, when they show the monster and it's like not as scary as what your
Yep.
mind can come up with. So
Yes.
it's like, well, Katie is scary. Like her being possessed by this imaginary thing is already scary. I don't need Katie to have like a demon face.
Crazy face.
Yeah, for me to like be afraid of the situation. So it's like, if there's one flaw in this movie, it's like, if they had just like not done that one little thing, it would have been.
Mhm.
But again, it's like, what did come on 2007?
Nine.
Seven.
It says,
Nine,
it says
yeah, so it's
7
like-
and 9. I can't decide which one is correct. I think it was at
Oh.
film festivals in 2007 and actual theaters in
Oh.
2009.
Okay, that would make sense. So like, it's like, I get it being just like a kind of a different time, but overall, just like so fun. I think it
Mhm.
still holds up so well because there is so little CGI, because it's all practical effects. It's like that will just like kind of hold up forever.
Yeah.
And also when he's like, I think something bit you. And it's like the biggest teeth marks, like literally this big. Like I'm like, yeah, a shark.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But also, Asmodeus, I thought we were bros. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Why are you biting me?
Fuck,
We've been
dude.
together since we were 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so mean. Why would you bite
Bit
me?
me.
Love bite.
The demon is actually just Pumpkin.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the pumpkin friend of the group. He's just the pumpkin friend.
Yeah,
He's
she's
just the
just a
bitey
pumpkin
friend.
I don't love bites.
friend.
But yeah, so that was Paranormal Activity.
Woo.
The end of
I
our
love this
paranormal
movie
block.
so. I
Such a
love this
good-
movie.
Such a good way
So
to
good.
round out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just like
this was a good one.
like the
And then-
epitome of the paranormal.
That's what I think. Like literally,
Yeah.
it like it like besides Poltergeist, I feel like it really like started the whole
Yeah.
genre.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I also I guess owe thanks to Paranormal Activity because after watching this movie, my friend and I in high school, we were obsessed with going on like YouTube or other like video websites and looking up like real ghost caught on camera because like
Mhm.
people would like make their own like 5-minute Paranormal Activity, like
Yeah.
is obviously fake or whatever, but we were in high school, so we were like obsessed with these videos and we were so scared
Mhm.
and we thought all of them were totally real.
Yes.
It's
I mean,
so
I
fun.
was like obsessed with all of those like ghost hunting shows
I was
Oh,
too.
bitch.
in the early 2000s. I watched all of those, and
I did too.
ate that shit up. The
Mhm.
EVPs and the setting up of all. I just loved all of that kind
I'll
of
be
I-
like, did you hear that? He said you're gonna die. And I was
Yeah, it's like
Not that at all.
I still eat it up. I love watching my
I
Good
do
Boys.
too. I just watched recently Grave Encounters, and it was like
Uh-huh.
it's like
Mhm.
it's like a parody of one of those shows, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I would watch the shit out of Grave Encounters if that was a show. I'm trash for
Yeah.
it.
It's so I love this.
I mean, it's
genre.
just
I
like it's
love
just
it.
like
all
it's
the,
just like
the, like
Gungeon. Oh, go ahead.
Yep.
Sorry.
no, I just like
Yeah.
the whole like night vision camera, like
Yeah.
everything. Like I just love it. I love
So
it.
good.
It's just like Gonjium. I would have totally watched the fuck out of that live stream.
Right?
Been like having it up
Oh yeah.
in my bed, like
Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys all need to watch Dead Stream.
Oh yes, we
do.
do.
it's on my list. It's on Shutter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our paranormal block, and we had a poll. We asked you guys what the next subgenre was going to be, and I'll let our first person of the next block say what that is. Lauren.
Oh shit! Oh shit! what was it between?
It was I had zombies.
I had home invasion.
Uh-huh.
I think I had foreign film.
And I picked cult, and cult movies won. And this is
Y'all
like
are
not like cult classics, but like horror movies based
Yeah.
on cults. It's very specific.
Yes, very specific.
But there's so many different ones. It's like we might as well make as many little mini subgenres as we can, because then we can do this podcast forever.
Forever.
Oh my gosh, I'm nervous about my pick.
Oh my gosh.
I am.
I have my typing fingers ready to look it up.
I'm excited.
Okay, I'd like to give a little, just, a little bit of build up to this, because we were talking earlier in our group text, and I was like, I have so many that I would like to choose, because like there's so many good cult movies, and Siberia was like, are there? And I was like, there's so many good ones. Like I've been literally all day like trying to decide what I want to pick, because I feel like there's a few very obvious ones, and not obvious in a bad way, obvious in a like I'm so excited for someone to pick them, because I already know someone in the group is going to pick them. So, and especially because you guys were kind of saying that you didn't feel like you had as many that you could think of to choose from. So I'm leaving those ones for the group.
Thank
I'm
you.
picking something that I'm nervous that you guys aren't going to like. I think it's a good movie. I think I'm worried that you won't like it because it's a little bit long and it's a little bit of a slow burn.
I think I know what you're picking.
Really?
I think I might.
I'm so curious. Just tell us. The anticipation is killing me.
I'm still talking. I'm so nervous. Okay, it was made in 2018.
I know what it is.
You do?
I like this movie.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if anyone. I haven't even said it. It's on Netflix. It is called Apostle.
That is not the one I thought, but I do like that movie.
You've seen it?
Apostle.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Suspiria.
Oh, Suspiria is a great movie too.
Yeah, Suspiria is. that is a cult movie.
I know. There's so
maybe
many
I did
good
more
ones, you
than I
guys. Oh my gosh! And this one is, and weirdly, when I was like, because I usually do more of a buildup of like what it's about, and like there is like nothing about this movie. Like next week, I don't know if I'm gonna have any fun facts for you, because there's like not shit that anyone has written about this movie. And I started psyching myself out because I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes and it's like a 70 critic and like a 56 audience. And I was like, oh no, people don't like it.
Dude,
I'm really liking this movie.
I've gotten to the point where I just don't read the Rotten Tomato reviews anymore, because it's like
I know, and with horror, like it can be so subjective, but I feel like this movie is incredibly atmospheric. Like it's got this very dreadful, it's set on like a secluded island in England, so it's just kind of got this like heavy atmospheric vibe to it. And yeah, it's very dark and fucked up, but it's a slow burn. So I'm hoping that if you guys can hang in there with me, I hope that you guys like it, because
I like this movie a lot.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times, and it's like one that I feel like not a lot of people have seen. Like I have introduced this movie to a lot of people and they've all liked it. So I'm like, if we know that there's going to be like some classic cult ones that are going to be chosen in the group, I'm like, okay, if I can give one that like not a lot of people have seen, and that's very accessible because it's on Netflix, like that's my one. It was just calling to me for it to be the one that I chose. So.
Dude,
Yay.
Just looking up the movie, like a screenshot from it pops up and it is so awful to look at. I don't even want to like make it bigger.
Oh my God.
It's so scary.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
What is happening? I don't know what's happening in this
Dan
scene.
Stevens is so good in this movie.
Is that the main guy? Is that the main actor? Yeah.
I don't mind long movies. I think for me, it depends on what they're doing with that time and like what the shot is, because I feel like long movies where there's like there is something happening and you are almost kind of like, again, like playing I Spy with the movie. You're like, what am I looking for? What's happening here?
Mhm.
Like, and the suspense is building. But when it's just kind of like a long panning shot of like the woods and there's nothing, whatever,
Right.
then I'm kind of like, okay, this, you could have cut this. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
like, it depends on what I'm like looking at for those 2 hours as to
Mhm.
whether I'm like, oh, that was boring, or I'm like, oh no, like that
Well, yeah.
that buildup was great, you know?
Yeah.
Because Hereditary's 2 hours.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many shots where like it doesn't seem like anything's happening, but if you're paying attention, you're like, because there's like that one scene where you're looking at Peter through the window and then you notice like a breath just off camera, like just
Mhm.
ever so slightly off camera. You're like, what was
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm like,
just-
I can feel my face is hot.
Oh
Like,
my
I'm
God.
building that movie up. I don't know why. I'm
Girl.
just like, because I think it's a really cool, it's like, and it definitely is on the artsier fartsier side than movies that I
Hey.
tend to lean towards.
Oh, then I'll love it.
The one that I'm gonna pick is almost 2 hours, so I
Okay.
wouldn't worry about it.
I think
I guess
mine is
we
too.
got a little bit spoiled on like the short movies because paranormal movies tend to be like an hour
Right.
30. But yeah, like
How
this
long is
one's
mine?
Well, and I feel
got a
like
lot
with
going on.
cult movies, it's good you take that time, because a lot of cult movies you don't even realize it's about a cult first.
yes. Mhm.
And they're like building it up and you're like, what is going
What is this?
on? Like, why is
Yeah.
everybody acting so weird? And then it's not,
Mhm.
you know, till for long in
Yeah.
the movie, you're like, oh, these people are in a
Mhm.
cult. Oh no,
Yeah.
they're up to something. My
That's how
main
mine
character's
is.
got to get out of here.
Oh, cool. Sorry, I just saw something that I think counts as a cult movie that I might use.
When I was looking up
If
like
that's
a
not
list
be
of
mine.
cult movies, I was like, "Ooh, that would be such a good one." Oh, that would be so. I had like 6 or 7 that I have genuinely like all day been just like, which one should I choose?
I had 2.
See, I could
And
only
I bet I
think
know
of
which 2
3.
they are.
I was like, I know
Oh.
3 cult movies.
Oh, I guess 3, yeah.
I'm gonna go with this one. I forgot that this was a
We have
cult
to
I'll
movie.
text each other, Kirsten, so I need to
Okay.
pick another one.
It's funny because I wasn't like, when you first brought up cults, I was kind of like, cult horror movies. But
Mm.
then like once I started like thinking about them and the few that I know, I was like, wait, yeah, I actually do like that genre.
Yeah, there's
Like
so
I'd
many
never really
good
thought
ones.
about it.
And then like even Joe and I were talking about more this afternoon because like I was trying to decide, and then he was throwing out more that I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that one. That one's such a good one. Like he was like, what about House of a Thousand Corpses? And I was like, oh,
I've never
that's
seen that.
Wait,
I've
that
never seen
counts?
that.
That counts?
it's totally a cult movie. I know. I was like, I wasn't even thinking about that, but that's like a classic cult movie.
I don't
know. There's so many good ones.
Damn. Well, damn, we're in for a treat then. I'm excited to rewatch Apostle.
I hope
I'm excited to
everyone
watch
I will not be surprised if you don't. Like I can definitely see there being some critiques, but like I hope that you guys enjoy it.
it.
And I
Well,
hope the
yay.
audience enjoys
I'm
it.
excited.
And it's
I
on
hope-
Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's like a Netflix original.
It is a Netflix movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's only on there. But
So no excuses to not see it,
None.
listeners.
we know
You better-
y'all have Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least you know somebody who does that would let you
Yeah,
borrow
get a
it.
login. Okay,
But yeah.
so yeah, we'll see you guys next week, and hopefully you watch Apostle, and we can all talk about it together.
Yay!
And thank you for
That's so
joining us on our spooky ooky paranormal block.
Ooh.
We're gonna have to think of a new thing for cult.
We're gonna come brainwash you.
Are we-
Okay, anyway, bye.
Bye.